jealousy that is permeating throughout this entire league toward Caitlin Clark is nasty work. Paige Bueckers live on Sue Bird's podcast, and you could see it on her face during the pregame telecast, the disgust and the sickness she has when it comes to Caitlin Clark. It must be studied. Now, take a look at this. Paige Bueckers was pissed while Caitlin Clark was talking about her signature shoes. Now take a look at Paige Bueckers' face while Caitlin Clark is talking about her signature shoes.
Caitlin, I'm curious, did you hook up any teammates or anybody with the shoe? Or I mean, we're
Courtney Williams is rocking them tonight, which, like, I've had multiple people ask for them. I only have size 9 right now.
Look at her face. Look at her face.
So they're actually playing in my samples.
Look at her face. She don't want nothing to do with it. She don't want nothing to do with this. She don't want to hear about no damn Caitlin Clark shoes. She been jealous of this girl since college.
For months, one of the biggest storylines in basketball has been the conversation surrounding Caitlin Clark and the attention she brings to the WNBA. Every hard foul, every heated exchange, and every emotional post-game interview has been picked apart by fans, analysts, and the media. Some people believe the physical play is simply part of professional basketball, while others argue that Clark has faced an unusual amount of attention because of her rapid rise to stardom. No matter where you stand, one thing is impossible to ignore. The debate has completely taken over the sport. Before we jump into everything, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest basketball news, player stories, and in-depth breakdowns. There are plenty of huge moments still to come this season. What makes this conversation so fascinating is that every game involving Clark seems to create another headline.
Look at this. I see a lot of Paige Bueckers fans talk about how she can't stand Caitlin Clark. This might help y'all understand why. Jealousy and envy, not easy emotions to deal with. Take a listen at what Paige Bueckers had to say here.
And then it just felt like women's basketball just took the world by storm, and rightfully so. So I'm not, and I felt bad because I felt like jealous in a way, and I felt like envious, and I've never been that type of person.
I felt jealous and I felt envious. Now, when she talks about women's basketball taking over, who is she talking about? Caitlin Clark.
Whether it's a highlight from well beyond the three-point line, Dwayne, a tough defensive battle, or another record-breaking performance, the spotlight rarely leaves her. That level of attention naturally creates strong opinions, and not everyone sees the situation the same way. Recently, Paige Bueckers was asked about the attention surrounding women's basketball and the expectations placed on young stars. As with many high-profile interviews, her comments quickly spread across social media, with different people offering different interpretations. Some fans viewed her remarks as honest and competitive, while others believed they reflected the pressure that comes with sharing the spotlight in a rapidly growing sport. Regardless of the interpretation, the discussion exploded online and became another major talking point. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has continued doing what has defined much of her career, letting her play speak for itself. Every time she steps onto the court, expectations are enormous. Opposing defenses build game plans around slowing her down. Fans fill arenas hoping to witness something special, and television audiences tune in expecting highlights. That's a level of pressure very few athletes experience, yet she continues embracing the challenge. As the All-Star festivities approached, the excitement only intensified. Fans weren't just interested in the game itself, they wanted to see how the league's brightest stars would perform together on the biggest stage. Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Bueckers, and many of the league's biggest names have become central figures in the ongoing conversation about the future of women's basketball, making every appearance feel like a major event.
Caitlin Clark, and Dominique Malonga, get up here, both of you. 5 threes to start this game. You really set the tone. Your team wanted to win. Why was it so important to you? This is supposed to be fun, but you guys were super competitive.
I think we just wanted to put on a show for all the fans, so thought we wanted to make it fun. We appreciate everybody coming out. It was a fun time. Chicago put on a great All-Star, so we're just thankful for all these people that showed up.
Behind all the headlines, one reality stands above everything else. The popularity of women's basketball has reached new heights. Arenas are fuller, television audiences are stronger, and interest in the league continues to grow. With that growth comes greater scrutiny, more debate, and bigger expectations for every star player. The biggest names in the game now carry enormous attention wherever they go, and every interview, performance, or viral moment quickly becomes part of the larger conversation. That's what makes this era so unique. Every game feels bigger, every storyline spreads faster, and every standout performance has the potential to shape the narrative of an entire season. As the spotlight on women's basketball continues to grow, every interview and every public comment is being examined more closely than ever before. That's exactly what happened during one widely shared media appearance, where comments from Paige Bueckers quickly became the center of debate across social media. Fans clipped short segments, added their own interpretations, and before long, the discussion had spread far beyond the original interview. Some viewers felt Bueckers was simply being honest about the pressures that come with playing in an era where one player can dominate so many headlines. Others interpreted her comments very differently, suggesting they reflected the competitive reality of sharing the spotlight with someone like Caitlin Clark. Regardless of where you stand, one thing became obvious. The conversation wasn't going away anytime soon. The rapid rise of Clark has changed the landscape of women's basketball. Her games consistently attract huge audiences, merchandise sells at remarkable rates, and television ratings have climbed alongside the league's growing popularity. That's a credit to Clark. But it's also a sign that interest in women's basketball as a whole has reached another level. When one player becomes that visible, comparisons become unavoidable, and every other star is naturally drawn into the discussion. Of course, professional athletes are competitors by nature. Every player wants recognition for their own accomplishments, and every star wants to help grow the game in their own way. That competitive mindset can sometimes lead to passionate debates among fans, especially when different players receive different levels of media attention. It doesn't necessarily mean players are rooting against one another, but it does show how intense the spotlight has become. While the conversations continued online, Clark's focus remained where it has been throughout most of her career, on the basketball court. Instead of responding to every headline or every opinion, she continued preparing for one of the biggest stages of the season. By the time the All-Star festivities arrived, anticipation had reached another level, with fans eager to see how the league's brightest stars would perform together. From the opening moments, Clark played with confidence and energy. She pushed the pace, looked to create opportunities for teammates, and wasn't afraid to take difficult shots whenever the defense gave her even a small opening. That's become one of the defining features of her game. Defenders know her range extends well beyond the three-point line, yet she still finds ways to create space and keep opponents guessing. Her passing also remained a major part of her impact. Time after time, she spotted cutting teammates, found open shooters, and made difficult passes look routine. Even when she wasn't scoring, she influenced the game by forcing defenders to make impossible choices. Step up to stop her shot and passing lanes open. Stay back and she has the confidence to shoot from almost anywhere. By the end of the night, the discussion had shifted once again. Instead of focusing only on interviews, social media debates, or outside narratives, basketball fans were talking about what had happened on the court. And that's often how the biggest stars answer the loudest conversations. They let their performances become the biggest headline of all. By the time the biggest moments of the weekend arrived, the conversation had shifted almost entirely toward Caitlin Clark. Whether people tuned in as longtime supporters or curious observers, there was no denying that she had become one of the central attractions of the event. Every possession seemed to generate another reaction, every highlight spread across social media within minutes, and every big play added another chapter to an already remarkable season. The biggest stars often face the highest expectations, and Clark has experienced that from the moment she entered the league. Opponents prepare specifically for her style of play, analysts break down every decision she makes, and fans debate every performance in real time. That kind of attention can create enormous pressure, but it also creates opportunities to deliver memorable performances when the spotlight is brightest. As the game unfolded, Clark showed why so many people view her as one of the most exciting young players in basketball. She stretched the defense with her deep shooting range, created open looks for teammates with creative passing, and consistently played with confidence. Even when defenders tried to force the ball out of her hands, she found ways to impact the game through smart decision-making and unselfish play. Those are the qualities that separate great scorers from complete offensive offensive players. Naturally, comparisons between star players continued throughout the weekend. Angel Reese, another young standout who has become one of the league's biggest personalities, also attracted plenty of attention. Fans often compare their performances because both entered the professional ranks with enormous expectations after memorable college careers. While individual games can produce very different stat lines, it's important to remember that one performance doesn't define a player's overall ability or long-term future. That's one reason basketball remains so compelling. Every game presents a new opportunity, and every player experiences both outstanding nights and difficult ones. Some evenings, shots fall with ease. On others, even routine opportunities refuse to cooperate. Those ups and downs are part of every great career, regardless of experience or reputation. What stood out most from the weekend was how Clark embraced the moment. Rather than allowing outside conversations to distract her, she focused on making winning plays and helping her team whenever the opportunity presented itself. That's often the best response to criticism or constant media attention. Not words, but performance. As the final buzzer approached, one thing was obvious. The weekend had once again highlighted just how much excitement surrounds the league's newest generation of stars. Clark, Reese, and several other young players are helping shape the future of women's basketball, creating storylines that fans will continue discussing long after the All-Star festivities come to an end. As the weekend came to a close, one thing stood out above everything else. The conversation around women's basketball isn't slowing down anytime soon. Every major performance, every interview, and every viral moment now sparks days of discussion among fans, analysts, and former players. That's a sign of just how much the sport has grown and how closely people are following its biggest stars. Caitlin Clark once again found herself at the center of that conversation. Her ability to attract attention, create highlights, and generate excitement continues to make her one of the league's biggest attractions. At the same time, other rising stars like Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese, and many more remain an important part of the league's future, even as fans continue comparing their performances and debating every storyline. Competition has always been the part of sports, and strong opinions come with the territory. Different players have different journeys, different strengths, and different fan bases. Some nights one player steals the spotlight, while on another night someone else becomes the headline. That's what makes great rivalries and memorable seasons so entertaining to follow. As more young talent enters the league, these debates will only become louder. Fans will continue comparing statistics, discussing performances, and arguing over who deserves the most recognition. Those conversations are part of what keeps basketball exciting throughout the season. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest basketball news, analysis, and biggest stories from around the league. Now we want to hear from you. Which young star do you think will have the biggest impact on the future of the WNBA? And which storyline are you watching most closely this season? Let us know in the comments below.